Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for asking, sir. See,
My pleasure.
it's an honor to speak to you in person and be sitting with you today over here. And I'm here to ask you a couple of questions regarding English language, because students of these days are at home and spending time at their home because of due to the lockdown situation for the past 6 months or half a year. So we thought let's just educate them while they're sitting on through our social media and YouTube platform. So I hope you don't mind answering a couple of questions we have.
No, not at all.
Thank you. That's very kind of you, sir. Sir, we just need your advice, some basic tips. How can a student improve his English in a simple way?
Basically, English consists of 2-3 things. First of all, writing, reading, and speaking. So, for writing, you have to work on it. The more you work on it, the more you will get reward, inshallah. Speaking is more likely to, if you are available with some sort of environment, and where you can freely has don't with no hesitation you can speak. So if you have any sort of environment in your around, so you could speak well, even though if you are speaking with the less spoken people, so even then you are capable of speaking English. So it's all about what you want to do.
Yes.
What you want to do.
Of course, great. I couldn't agree more. So, by the way, there are a lot of courses these days available online for the learning as well. Do you think they can be helpful for a learner in the beginning? Online courses of English language.
Online course, I think, for learning English is not a big deal. For me, to speak English precisely, you just have to work hard in speaking. You just have to speak with the people who can speak.
As many people as you can speak. Yes, of course. Indeed.
So as much as you can speak with them, you can have a good grip on it.
So according to you, learning English is not difficult?
I think so. It's not a big job.
All right. So by the way, do we also have to learn English grammar according to you? To speak English?
To some extent. Basically, English is a communication language. English, Urdu, whatever language is a communication. So for communication, you don't have to focus about grammar. To some extent, it is. I mean, if you are speaking, I am doing something. So instead of I am, you say I was doing something. It is entirely different. I mean, the meanings would be changed,
Indeed.
but I think to some extent.
All right. So English grammar is not difficult at all, according to you?
Yeah.
All right. How long, according to you, because you're a father as well as you are a teacher, so how long, according to you, does a student take to speak English, as per your experience?
If a student spend some time with the person who can speak, I mean, if in half an hour
A day?
It will give them good grip on it. Slightly, as the time passes on, he could extend his time. So as far as he go, it all depends on how much hard he could work.
How hard he pushes.
That's
right, of course. By the way, I wanted to know that what is the best way to learn English? As you have mentioned, that speaking to a person in person, sitting with a person half an hour a day is a great way. Apart from this, what is the best way to learn English? To give like a recipe to someone. This is the best way to learn English. What could that be according to you?
I think you
listening to, some people say that's watching English movies or listening to English songs or watching English news channels could be helpful. So as per your experience, what do you suggest? What is the best method to start from in the beginning?
I think you have to remove your hesitation.
That's the basic part.
That's the first thing you have to do to learn English. So it's all fear, I think.
Right.
English is a fear. So to some extent, it is a complex. Many people thinking as an inferiority complex.
Of course.
So if you get rid of that fear, you can speak. So these are the means. I mean, watching TV, watching movies, or reading newspapers. These are all sources where you can work on.
Right.
And
Sir, as we are friends, we are brothers. I know you for a long time, and you have spent many of your early years, or your youth in UK as well. So, as the way you have seen people speaking native speakers over there, how learning English is different from learning a native language? For somebody who is learning English as a second language and somebody who is learning English as a native language, how is it different? How the both processes are different? How would you explain that? How learning English is different from learning as a native language as well as a second language?
I think a person can learn much easier than native language. If it is other language, you have to work hard on it. So I think learning native language is much easier than learning any other language. So anything you do extraordinary different, you have to work on it.
Of course. Sir, what is the difference between written and spoken English?
Yes, speaking is
Yes.
Definitely writing language is different thing, and speaking is many people I have experienced both. They are good in writing, but they haven't have the ability to speak in English. So writing and reading entirely different things. Many people even don't know what they are writing, but they know what they are writing, but they don't know. They do know how they are speaking. I mean, it's entirely different. Some people are very good in writing, but they are not good in speaking English. So it's have difference.
Of course. So because learning as a student is different, and learning as a teacher is different. So what is the best way that you would suggest is to teach English? What is the best way to teach English to a student or to somebody who is inferior
I
to
think
you?
for learning any language, especially you're talking about English, you have to start with the basics. I mean, the basic sentences, the basic phrases. As you move on, you could extend the complexity of the phrases, complexity of the sentences. I think for a teacher to teach English, you have to start from the basic. If you clear the basics, then you move forward, and the way you could teach them properly.
Right. Sir, talking about the basics, learning grammar is more important or learning vocabulary is more important?
I think to some extent learning grammar, but learning vocabulary is the major part. If you don't know what that jug means, so if you have the vocabulary, you know what jug is, what glass is, so what chair is. If you don't have the vocabulary, you can't speak English, I think. If you know in Urdu or you know in other language, but you don't know what it would say in English, so it's entirely hard for you, I think. It's very hard for you.
Right. Because some students are studying in university, so students who speak perfect English, yet they struggle badly with reading and writing assignments. Why do you think is this so?
At university, actually, if you are going to the university with English background, I mean, if you studied English in your matriculation, in your inter, I think you have the base clear. But some people or some students came from different background, I mean, Urdu medium background, so it is very hard for them to have a good grip on of English in university level. So that's why I think the bases are
right. Sir, I have a couple of questions left. What is the best way to improve English writing skills?
You start writing.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Right.
Start writing. You think, and
The more you
start-
practice.
the more you practice, start writing.
So how to get rid of the fear of speaking? By the way, some people have this stage fear. They can't speak on the stage. How do you think? What are the best tips to get rid of the fear of speaking English?
So you talk about the fear of speaking English. The best thing about to remove the fear is to overcome the fear. You have to prioritize yourself. I mean, if, for example, if you are moving if you are going somewhere, and the destination you are choosing is not of much importance to yourself. You're not prioritized. That destination is not prioritized, so you wouldn't go there. If there is a fear away in the middle, if it is a fear, and your destination is not prioritized, so I think you wouldn't go there. The goal you are setting at the end, I think that must be importance to you.
Right.
So precisely, if learning English is priority to you, you could remove any fear. You could get rid of any fear.
I just couldn't agree more, sir. What if a student doesn't understand the examiner in the speaking test? Some students take IELTS test and they are taking up this speaking session with the examiner. But if you do not understand the examiner's question in the speaking test, how should you react? What is your best tip? Should you ask to repeat, or should you just stay silent? Or what should be your best reaction at the moment?
I think you could say pass on. So instead of hesitating, pass on.
Awesome.
If you don't realize what it is.
Right. Sir, my last question is: does the accent matter?
To some environment, not everywhere. I mean, if you are speaking at local level, it doesn't matter. If you are speaking at some foreign, I mean, if you are in UK or if you are in America, it do matters. So people perceiving you that you are English is not your native language; it's your second language. So I think to some extent it matters according to your in accordance with your locality.
Locality matters.
Locality matters. Where you speak.
Right, of course. Sir, thank you so much for your time. I hope this information helps out our listeners and as well as our audience. And if they have any questions or curious, they'll reach out in the comment section of the video. I hope so.
Inshallah. It would be a pleasure for me that you come here and give me some time to, although I'm not speaking English very much nowadays, but as you insist, you would like to have an interview in English, so it goes on.
So that's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.